Hey, what's going on with it once again? Bros, women, bronies, and pegasisters is the one, the only Mr. Nintendo Freak 2011, aka Criticism Guy 2009. So without further ado on that, start this super long ass slideshow that I made and let's get this shit started. So did Cartoon Network die in 2004, 2006? First, this is a really big ass YouTuber out there. His name is SS Gohan something, Gohan Super Saiyan fan. He's the one that actually brought this up earlier this year, like February, March, maybe April at the latest, at the earliest maybe. And he brought some really good ass points that definitely caught my fucking attention. It was about 2 weeks ago when I saw this video, even though it's been out since around March, April, around that time of this year. So yeah, this might be 16 or 20 minutes, so if you want to leave now, by all means go ahead. But if you want to stay and you were an old school 90s fan like I was, of Cartoon Network, how awesome as hell they were back in the days, that just nostalgic feel. You know, you couldn't go wrong with it, then by all means stay. So yeah, basically, as you can see, you got Cartoon Network. So he has so many good ass fucking cartoons. I could list every single one of them by heart. Like the very first cartoon I actually saw back in Cartoon. Any of you guys in the 90s kids, you remember What a Cartoon Show? Kudos to you. You got my 110% respect and everything above that. And the very first one I saw is Powerpuff Girls, and I think Courage the Cowardly Dog. It's one of those two. I remember Cow and Chicken back in the days. A lot of other really good ass shit in the 90s besides, like, you know, Codename Kids in the Store. Even the early 2000s, you had the introduction of Ed, Edd and Eddy. Like I just said, Codename Kids Next Door. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. What else was on there at that time? Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy and the Evil Con Carne shit. That was literally like my crack addiction way back in the days. Plus, at that time, I didn't really have that many friends. The only family members I had were like the only friends I had were my cousins, and that was it. I was kind of an antisocial fuck at that time in my early 90s, early 2000s. Of course, I got real life friends now, but back then I fucking didn't. But unfortunately, you know, in the mid 2000s, I want to say around 2006 for me, mid late 2006 to early 2007, that's when it fucked up and it died, unfortunately. Because you got 7 different animators that ended up leaving Cartoon Network. One got promoted to like Sony, the other one left for Nickelodeon, the other one he ended up leaving for like ABC, for a whole bunch of other different like channel companies out there. Even though I really don't watch TV that much anymore, unless, you know, even though I do my like little reviews on like the Avengers and stuff like that, like Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sometimes I'll watch that occasionally, so I could do a review for you guys on that on Friday. So be on the lookout for that. Another really good ass thing, I forgot about Johnny Bravo. His shit was so fucking boss. You got Samurai Jack. What else? Camp Lazlo in the mid 2000s. Now I'm going in that area. Jennifer Lee, Teen Titans introduction. Whole shitload of it. Megas XLR. That was so my fucking jam back in the days. Even though it was like my middle school, high school years at that time. That shit definitely kept me as a kid at heart. I loved to sing every single little one of it. Every single moment was just beautiful. It was just fucking awesome. I'm just telling you right straight up to the point. Another thing that pissed me off about it though is when all these little piece of shit live action shows like fucking Out of Jimmy's Head. What else was on there? That Level Up thing that just came out like 2-3 years ago. Now you got all this fucking bullshit these days. The only 2 cartoons I actually could tolerate on there is Regular Show and maybe Gumball, and that's probably it. The Adventure Time and all those other ones are just fucking mierda. Fucking pure fucking trash garbage shit. In my opinion, of course, even though you babies that were born in the 2000s or later, that's probably your crack addiction right now. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to disagree with you little kids out there. I'm sorry, just that's the way it is. And another really big downfall that happened on Cartoon Network was that they took out all the reruns and everything. And of course, he did mention a really other good thing, Super Saiyan Gohan fan or whatever, anime fan. Definitely check his shit out. Put the link down in the description box below for his channel. He's on Nintendo Anime Manga Guy channel if you want to check his shit out. Definitely amazing dude. Of course, he had Hi Puffy on Mimi. How in the fuck could I forget about that? Seriously, he had the best music, 2 sexy hot ass Asian chicks, and really crazy ass misadventures, good things gone wrong. You cannot beat that shit. Seriously. And he has so many other good ass cartoons. Even though Ben 10, it was still a really good ass one. The original Ben 10 was. The other ones after that was kind of shit. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to put it out there now. But before that, fucking amazing. It was for the win. I'll tell you, it was just epic proportions at its finest. And what else was good? You had that one, Jennifer Lee. I didn't really care too much for it, but it was decent. was a lot more better compared to like shitty ass cartoons. Like you got fucking Adventure Time and shit like that. I really don't care about that fucking cartoon. Or Mad TV, I'm not really crazy about that shit. It's not my style. It's probably not my generation now. And what else can I say? Of course, Codename Kids Next Door. I mentioned that one. Another really good ass thing I loved about those things. The direction, the animation was there. The cast and the crew, the voice acting was super professional, even though they acted loony and silly every once in a while. But that's where you go with American cartoons. It's a lot more different from anime. Plus, they still had Toonami on this. Even though they had that really crappy ass one, Bobo 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 Bo. I didn't really give a fuck about that one too much. I'll be blatantly honest with you on that. But the rest of their shit on there was fucking amazing. Bananas, professional, top of the line, you name it, they had it back in the day. Another really cool ass thing I really loved back in the day was that you can tell like the Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Laboratory, they were starting to change like the animation style to it, because I think Craig McCracken and Lauren Faust, and this is before she made My Little Pony Friendship is Magic too, by the way, the 4th generation. It started losing its grip. Really good ass examples of this Nickelodeon, like with SpongeBob SquarePants and Fairly Odd Parents. They still give that to this day. They're still making new episodes on that. It's like they don't know when to give up, because all their live action shit, that's how it is for the younger generation nowadays. Not mine, but the ones after me. Like that's all they care about is live action like shows, you know. And that shit gets so fucking repetitive and boring. It's just, it boils my fucking blood in my goddamn fucking veins. That pisses me the goddamn fuck off. Seriously. So if I ever have kids one day, I'm gonna show them all my old school stuff. Way back in the 90s. It'll probably be like 2020, 2030 or something. If I ever do get married and have kids or whatever. I'm gonna show them the classic stuff. Even though the shit way before me in the 1950s and 60s, like Tom and Jerry, the Flintstones, Jetsons, Richie Rich, and Astro Boy, all that 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Of course, I was way before I was born until 89, of course. I couldn't understand it that well, even though my parents would love the crap out of that. That was way back in days, like 5-6 years before I ended up leaving them. Another really good Austrian cartoon I really loved on there the most, besides the Evil Concarne and the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I did even collaborations, the Grim Adventures of the Codename Kids Next Door. I had no idea that shit existed until about like 2-4 months ago. That was the cherry on top of the icing for me this year, which I did not even know until shout out to K-Mac Kills. He actually told me about this. I had no idea this was even in existence. Another really good ass thing, I love the music themes. There were a lot more creative music theme intros for the cartoons at that time than we do now, because now they're just either shit staying all over the place or they don't even have one at all. They're just cut straight to the freaking show. There's no creativity at all in any sense of the matter. And that's what pissed me the fuck off about the more younger shit nowadays. Even though I sound like I'm 70, 80 years old and I'm barely going to be 25 in a couple months. It's fucked up, It's the bottom fucking line. The last two things I want to say before I end this video is that number one, the thing I missed about the nostalgia shit back in the late 90s, early 2000s is that even the Scooby-Doo movies were really damn good. I really loved those Scooby-Doo movies. It was just fucking phenomenal, amazing. Samurai Jack, I already talked about that. Even in the early 90s, like Mad Cats and shit. And I'm not sure if that was Cartoon Network or Fox Kids. It was probably that one or Kids WB. That was definitely the hype for my kid. The child inside me at that time was just amazing. Like flawless, beyond any description of the matter. That was number one. And then number two, before I end up ending this video, it's probably been under 20 minutes, but it's all good. I might do a part 2 of this one day. Maybe we'll see in the future. Is Cartoon Network, of course. Back in the day, they were on top of the world, I'm telling you. Especially all their little TV movie specials, since I really couldn't afford a VHS and DVD at that time, because, my family was kind of poor and shit at that time, so it was not good times in my real life. But back in then, especially you had the real old school PS1 and N64 going against each other and all that, and Sega, right before Dreamcast ended up selling out and ended up jumping on Nintendo's ass for everything. I had so many good ass memories. You had the character development was there, the continuity was there, everything, all of the above. I can go on and on for hours, even days, just worshiping how old school how the 90s and early 2000s cartoons were like the best of the best. You had the best, everything on there. Everything with a cherry on top. Everything was flawless. Everything was perfect. Everything was genuine. All the jokes are super funny. They weren't lame and put out there. They didn't really have real life resemblances to anything, except if you want to get into Tiny Toon stuff. But that was when Nickelodeon was around at that time, way back in the day. The old school Nick I'm talking about, not the new school live action shit all the time. Where they're trying to be like actor to rapper, rapper to actor, all that fucking bullshit. I really don't care about that. And that's pretty much all I had to say. So like I always say, peace out, bros, women, bronies, and pegs. I will see you when I see you guys. Have a good day, have a good night, wherever you're at around the world. Don't drink and smoke weed at the same time. Don't drink the reckless. If they ever bring that old school shit back besides Boomerang, I will definitely be forever of that. So take care, see you soon, see you around, all that good shit. And I'll talk to you guys later, alright? And I'm going to be doing that Super Mario thing again, but it's a different one where he goes mental and crazy. It's probably going to be Offspring though, not a face cam one, because I don't know, I'm going to have important shit to do, and then I'll probably have to take a shower after that. Alright, take care, see you soon, peace out, see you around, lates, I'm gone, and goodbye.